Danielle's word box, we'll just kind of lean over and go like, I think that's gonna be that's an S right there, baby.
Why can't he be Mr. Selesky?
It's funnier if he's Mr. Finn.
That's not funny at all, actually.
So you, of course it would be.
So Danielle figured out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Fucking figure it out.
Just. You know what? So for the new listeners, anybody just joining the Schnozzcast, many times an episode, what seems like many times an episode, we will take a break and do a shot. So grab your favorite alcohol, your favorite libation. If you've only got a beer or a mixed drink, toast. Give us a toast. We're toasting to you. So here's to you doing a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, hey.
Palsy.
Woo!
We had a bit of a conversation about that last night.
We did.
Talk about.
Someone was a palsy with the way we.
Was a wow.
The way we.
I'm appalled.
Good night, everybody.
I'll give you that one. I will give you that one.
And that's
we-
it for episode
Typically.
59.
Well, to be fair,
To be fair.
I was referencing how saying the word palsy in the sense that Mr. Selesky was saying it was derogatory toward.
Was this last night?
No.
Last week.
Oh, last week. I'm sorry.
Was with people with disease.
The upbraiding happened last night, but the actual original event was last week.
Yeah, with a disease, like a lifelong disease that is very trying and it's horrible. I was referencing, I think what Cory was thinking of was Bell's palsy, which can be caught like the flu, where your face is almost stroke-like. And I think we need to be specific on which one we're talking about.
We were talking about the palsy.
Cerebral. Right.
I'm not on board with that.
So, what we discussed last night as well too was that I was referencing the Wolf of Wall Street when they
Not
did
a real
the.
person, but go ahead.
He actually was a real person.
Mr.
Yeah.
Shreve.
But there was a scene in the movie where they took these Quaaludes that were the old lemons,
Oh, Bill Cosby.
and he said there was a time delay on them. And when he went to the country club to make a phone call, he found a whole new phase of taking Quaaludes, and that was the palsy phase, to which he just fell backwards and could not control his body.
What do you mix it with the Jello pudding?
So that's what I was referencing.
I would love to hear. What would Ian's impression of Bill Cosby sound like?
Was that possible?
Because, well, the Bill Cosby sounded a little, it had a touch of
Touch an Ian.
See, that's when people get a little too confident.
Touch of the Minnesota Canadian accent.
They get a little too demanding with the voices, and then they're like, "That was way too Australian. That was not British."
Oh,
whatsoever.
no, I'm
Get on this box and dance for me,
What are you
bear.
talking about? I'm
That
giving
was
you a compliment.
more New Zealand than
And I'm playing the
Tasmanian
audience.
than
Island.
Australia.
Oh, I don't understand what the Bill Cosby, because I was way before my time.
Now do Bill Cosby.
Oh, the Jello jiggler. The Jello pudding, with the pudding.
Oh, it sounds so rough. Oh man.
But that's how he would do it.
Ian, I'll apologize for that one. That's
No, that should come from me. I kicked that off, and
I
I'll take
didn't-
the heat for it.
I didn't know. Wow.
I'm not ashamed.
As
I'm.
as one of the guys on Drew
I'm
and Mike,
ashamed.
as one of the Drew and Mike guys was we're talking about with their guests that rips apart other podcasts.
Yeah.
He's like, I love how you're talking to people as if they're really listening. They're not in the room. They'll never hear your podcast. You know.
Right.
I will say, speaking of people that do listen on a religious basis, though,
Oh boy.
the old Kevin Cromwell
Oh, yeah.
pulled up next to Nick and I the other day, as he was coming into work, and I can't even remember what the reference was that.
So we're getting into a squad car and we're about to leave, and there were some exigents. I had a lot going on, and Cory had asked me if I could drive him to a different location. There was snow outside. It was cold. It was a mildewy day.
Chase Bank was on the left.
And I said, yeah, no problem. Let's go. And it's nighttime. And I hear, And I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know, you always get some jerk off, you know, that, excuse me, you know, or something, you know. Genuine public, we loved it. But, you know, someone that's just an asshole. And this sounded like an asshole.
Oh, so it's like a bum? Some bum?
I didn't know. We held bumps. And I did a slow turn, and it was Kevin in his, you know, sparkly champagne Lincoln or whatever he's driving
What?
now. It was like some kind of older Lincoln SUV, like not too old, but
Sparkling champagne?
you know, like that champagne color. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it was
Champagne
probably
color?
wife influenced purchase.
Mostly, yeah, you can
Metal-
definitely tell.
metal-
Sounds
metal
like
flavor.
the car that the guy was driving at Goodfellas when he got shivved through the back of the
Yes.
back of the head
So,
It's a coupe.
outside of the club.
I love that car.
so he's like, hey guys, hey, what's going
It's under
on?
my mother's name.
And we're like, hey, Kev, what's up, man? Oh, nothing. There's a little small talk. I'm like, yeah, oh, okay. You know, and I did have to go. Love Kevin, do. I swear to God. And he made some comment that made no sense to me. And he looked behind and he's like, oh, Cory, there's those burps.
That's what it
And
was.
he goes, what? There's burps in your face. And he's like, someone's burping in my face? I don't understand. Danielle's burps in your face, and you could see it came like screaming back to Cory, you know, like, and he was like, wow, I had no idea that anyone listens to the podcast, and I forgot that
Yeah.
Kevin does.
And it was literally maybe an hour after that you said you posted it,
Yeah,
and he had already been that deep in the episode.
but he might have watched it on Facebook Live or Instagram or
Sure, he could have, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely he was listening to the audio version that day.
How do you know though?
You could hear it playing from his car.
Oh, right.
Was
Okay.
that what?
So
Yeah.
he gets he gets the notification, and God love Kevin because
I wish I had 100 Kevins.
Yeah, if we had 100 Kevins, we'd be famous. by
yeah.
now.
Well, we'd probably need like 20,000 Kevins, but to be fair.
You start with
To be
100,
fair.
but I remember talking to you guys about this, where the very first time that I went back to Ray's, I don't even know if it was right after the podcast. It might have been like a few days later than that or whatever, but some guy I had never met before.
I remember that
came
night.
up
Yeah.
and said something and be like, "Oh, so you're on that podcast, huh?" I'm like, "What?"
No.
How great of you to notice.
It was just jarring. Like I didn't know him. He didn't come and go like, "Hey, you don't know me," but like it wasn't like that at all. It was just a very sort of like, "Hey, so you're on that podcast, huh?" Like just a very in your face kind
Real
of
close
like.
talker.
He's like, "Yeah. I really like what you guys are doing," and I'm like, "Fuck are
Thank you.
And what? Yeah, I had not prepared for that moment. I always thought if that moment came, I'd be like, "Well, thank you very much. We work really hard."
I would take off my top hat.
Exactly, but I was
Put down
I
my
was
moniker.
freaked out. I was like,
I'm famous. You're not. Why are you
"Dude,
talking
what
to
are
me?
you, what? This is just it's freaking me out."
Ready the horses.
So so you kind of got a taste of that from Kevin, which I would probably be easy to get from Kevin because it's easy to forget how loyal he is and what a good listener he is. A super fan.
Well, and
let's
that's
say.
and that is the one thing because I told Nick, I said, he gets me with that every single time that we have a new episode come out.
Yeah.
I'll see him and he'll make a reference every time.
Mhm.
And I'm like, at first I'm like, Kevin, what are you smoking today? Because I have no clue what you're talking about. And then it finally hits me that he was just listening to the new episode
Yeah.
and referencing that. I'm like, wow, and you do appreciate it. You're like, that's
That's the thing. It's easy to shit on that, going like, "Dude, come on, like you got better things to do with your time." But at the end of the day, we all want to be loved. We all want to be appreciated, and that's how many other friends do we have who legitimately, religiously, as you said, listen to us?
oh yeah, and he does it. Every like I said, every single episode, and I've gotten to the point where I almost forget about it.
Here's the cool thing. So like we have a lot of good friends that will listen to the podcast, and you know what? The cool part about the podcast is it's not what you see on Instagram, and it's not what you see on Facebook. It's not the 2 or 3 people. We're an audio podcast. If you were to see the analytics, if you were to see what we're doing, the downloads are there. people are listening. This is just what we do kind of as a courtesy to try and get as much exposure as possible. We're not super concerned about, you know, the 1 or 2 or the 10 or whatever, you know, in the Facebook Live. That's not what we're focused on. We're focused on the audio content. What everyone's hearing, if you're in the Instagram, if you're in the Facebook, if you're in the Podbean, you're hearing the 70%.
Yeah, do yourself a favor and go to iTunes or Podbean and Spotify and download the episodes.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And the people that are close friends, you know, a lot of them have families and they can't come out, like Kevin and Danielle Kearns, and they can't come hang out. And, you know, they are a part of the inside jokes, and they are a part of, or want to be a part of that, you know. And I think they appreciate, you know, on their own time, you know, because a lot of people that listen to podcasts, you know, I listen to Drew and Mike, you listen to Dave and Chuck, you listen to Joe Rogan, you know, we're not telling Joe Rogan or Drew and Mike or anybody that we're listening to them. We're doing it as part of our day. Mm-hmm. And I do that every day, every single day.
Yeah, me too.
And Kevin has explained to me, just intimately knowing Kevin, he's explained to me, you know, I live in Monroe. I drive to work, and I can't always hang out with you guys. But you guys are on my drive. You know, I can listen to you in my car. Mm-hmm. So it just goes without saying that a lot of times or I'm at work, or I'm studying, you know, he became a nurse. You know, it's just in the background, you know, like with Drew and Mike with me, you know, I don't even think about it. I don't go around telling people, yeah, I just listen to Drew and Mike today.
Right.
When I get in the shower, I say, play Drew and Mike. And it just happens. So those inside jokes, he's like, oh, I was like there. You know, I know those, you know, the burp in the face. You know, I was there too. You know, so I think we take that for granted.
We do.
And that's exactly what we want.
It wasn't directly in his face, I'm just saying.
Well,
It's not like I turn and look at him and burp.
That's
I
even
want to
worse.
clarify.
The cloud was so big it enveloped him, even though you were facing another direction.
It was next to
if
him.
you were a cartoon, it would be a green fog
Yes.
around Cory's head.
That's exactly what I smelled.
Look, we tease Kevin
Cory,
a lot.
you okay?
We tease Kevin a lot, but because we know he could take it like a man. Take that shit.
Like
Okay,
a
whoa,
merce.
hang on.
Bird.
And you said you wish you had 100 Kevins.
Yeah, Kevin is a super fan that we wish we had.
Is it?
We wish everybody was like Kevin, where he just he's like, I don't care what I'm doing, like I'm listening to the podcast.
Is it kind of like the 30 Marthas or Barbaras, whatever it is?
I don't know what that means.
Help me out here. Help me out.
Yeah.
Kids in the Hall?
Hey, help me, Rhonda.
30 Marthas.
Yeah, you are a far deeper Kids in the Hall fan.
I had to
than
throw
I
that
am.
in there. 30 Marthas.
All right.
I don't think it's Martha's.
I'm going to do my
Barbaras.
homework now. There's 30 Barbaras or
30 Marthas or 30
Okay.
Barbaras or something like that.
I'll look that shit
And
up.
they're all just standing in a field and they're like,
But
We
I'm
agree.
picking up what you're throwing down. I feel what you're saying. But yeah,
nobody else?
No.
the approach that Kevin takes is the one that, I mean, shit, any podcast would kill to have every audience member treat their podcast like Kevin treats ours.
Right.
So yeah, we appreciate it very, very, very much.
And
Well, if we're done sucking Kevin's Pop Tarts.
no, but
Brown sugar cinnamon Pop Tarts.
I think he does
No,
what
I know.
what the intent of the podcast is. He listens to the audio
Yeah.
version,
Mm.
and he listens to it to buy time through his day, and that's inevitably what we're looking for. We want you guys to be a part of our lives, because you know we may not have anything spectacular that we're really doing, but you know we get together and we joke around, and this is what we do on a normal basis. So if we can record it and send it off into internet infamy, then great. Then you guys can be a part of it.
Never to be deleted.
Never ever.
Oh shit! I
Never.
said that shit. Trying to get in political office.
Not gonna happen.
Bob, where's the snip snip?
But
You know
yeah,
what you
that's what it's meant for. It's not, you know, the popping in and hearing a little snippet on Facebook Live or on Instagram. We love that, and we love the feedback. But you need to listen to the full audio versions of podcasts on Spotify or on iTunes or anything else. And what I'm talking about is not what Danielle's laughing about. Bob's just throwing bottle caps all around my home.
Flew off.
So anyhow, continuing. Does
Can I-
anybody... Yeah, go ahead. I'm
Say
sorry.
something real quick.
No!
I think that should be your guys' T-shirt. It should say Schnozzcast Superfan with a big gold star behind it, but all like 80s.
Oh boy,
No,
he's
seriously.
going somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
all-
like
is he
the,
though?
more, the more you know?
Yeah, like all 80s font.
Okay,
There you go.
we could do that.
So okay, so we've
Hand
decided.
them out.
We've come to terms, and again, we apologize for the fuck up with the Facebook Live. That was what, the battery? It was your phone. Did you
Yeah, my phone died.
use another phone?
Yes,
Okay, so Cory has a phone on backup.
I do.
Cory's second phone.
Oh
Like,
boy.
like Breaking Bad.
It's
Or
not.
if it doesn't work.
It doesn't connect to cellular. It only connects to Wi-Fi. So
Is that
So
what
he
you
says.
want Danielle to... Is that what you want Danielle to...
What is happening right now?
I don't know.
He's implying that Cory uses a burner phone.
Yeah,
So
there
this,
you go.
so we have to touch on
It's
this.
probably not wrong.
To be fair,
To be
Oh,
fair,
this thing?
we haven't touched on
Piece of shit.
what's coming up in the next month.
Oh, so we probably should have done this during housekeeping, but that was a long time ago. So let's just
Yep.
let's wind the clock back and Doc Brown it all the way back in the DeLorean
More.
to that
welcome everyone to episode 59.
time. So episode 60 will be
The Libyans!
There you go. Episode 60 will be on February 22nd, which is a Saturday, I think.
Correct.
And we're going to have special guest James Krabby Pappas and Nick Selesky,
Mhm.
who is Cory's cousin.
I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So the connection that we'll get into this in this episode, but really highly encourage you to make an appointment in your calendar, put some time aside, take a listen to us on the 22nd when Nick Selesky and Krabby are back in the house, because the two of them have a shared history of 20 plus years of, well, close to 20 years of a March Madness trip together. Both went to Western. Lots of shared history, lots of good stories. We're really looking forward to that episode.
Ellen Christensen wants to know if you bought any new toys this week.
I did, Ellen. Thank you, buddy.
Sounds
It's-
a little gay.
Shh. Cory doesn't know about it, but it's in a box in my house. I haven't even opened it yet. But next week, I'm going to
Pretty
try
sure
that shit
Cory
out.
can hear
Thank
this.
you. Yeah.
So actually,
He's busy farting in there.
I wasn't.
Oh, no. Well, let's bring that up.
By the way, did you listen?
I have
Oh
not.
my God, it's so audible.
He said it was.
Boo!
It
Well,
was.
it's loud out here,
Yeah.
so I can only
And I threw
imagine.
down my headphones and like,
How
So-
much time we got?
we're
10 minutes.
almost
we're
2 hours.
Yeah. So, but when I added the to be fair, I wanted to touch on the fact of March 10th.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So on March
It's a
10th,
Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
March 10th, this is a pretty big deal.
Is it?
Is it not?
No, go ahead.
Do you remember what March 10th is?
No, I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not looking at my calendar. Off the top of
Letter
my head.
Kenny?
Sure. Right, we're going with Letter Kenny.
Not sure yet, so that's what we're
Oh,
going.
all
All
right.
right.
God.
I couldn't remember the date.
Okay,
That's-
so it's
You know what? That's
Tuesday.
why.
much
That's why
Tuesday.
people put shit in their calendars so they don't have to remember it.
Okay,
It's
so
in my calendar.
we'll let Cory do this. Cory, explain to
Yeah.
the audience what Letter Kenny is and how you got us introduced to it.
Well, it's one of the greatest shows ever.
Mm-hmm. What is it about?
Oh, that's it's actually
Yeah,
kind of
not
cool.
really
What's
sure.
it about? Such a great show. What's it about?
It's about a lot.
It is.
All right.
Dude.
Well, no,
Step it up, sir.
so to go back to the origins, there was a guy that I worked with that showed me the original 2-minute clip of the first episode that I showed you guys originally, and the banter in the episode. It's some Canadian people that started this show of a couple of them. They live on a farm. Then they have like a subsex of groups of people.
Subsex.
There's not a whole lot of sex.
Sex.
So like submissive sex?
SE.
No, dominant.
CTS.
Yes.
They're more
Oh,
dominant. Okay.
God, get it over with.
No, so it was I can't even think of his name right now. I feel kind of
Jared Keeson.
Jared Kiso, yes. He was a amateur hockey player that traveled throughout Canada and decided to quit his hockey career to become a filmmaker. And in doing so, he was told by many people that it was a stupid idea. He wasn't going to go anywhere, and nothing was going to happen with the show. So they started making YouTube clips, and the YouTube clips took off to the point where they were picked up by Hulu and Crave. Crave being the Canadian counterpart to Hulu. And they produced a pilot episode and a couple episodes after that, and it became so big that now they are doing live shows throughout the U.S. and Canada, and they're going to be on season 8 coming up. So it became way bigger than I think they even ever thought.
Yeah.
And as you sent the message to us the other day, that even Brad Pitt gave him a shout out on red carpet.
That was crazy.
At the Oscars.
That was, yeah. So if Brad Pitt is talking about you at the Oscars,
Now, Brett, to be fair, Brad Pitt did not approach like Ryan Seacrest and start talking about Letterkenny, but he was approached by a Canadian journalist,
Right.
who's working for a major network at the time, who was at the Oscars, who asked him a question about his wardrobe or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that he was nominated for. It wasn't about Letterkenny, but
no,
Brad Pitt's response
and
was
I think
like,
that
"You
was,
guys got a Letterkenny, great show."
and I think that was the craziest part was that
Yeah.
there was nothing brought up about Letterkenny.
Yeah, it was unprompted. He's just like, I just want to say a real good thing about Letterkenny.
He was walking away from the reporter.
Yeah.
And said, you know what? The one good thing you guys do have is your show Letterkenny from Canada.
Yeah.
And that, so not even being prompted to
Yeah,
have
so you
Brad
feel a
Pitt.
little swell of pride as
Fan?
as an early fan,
Right.
Not a
We
let's say
were
a fair weather fan or a band.
yeah we were definitely early in the game.
Yeah.
For Letterkenny, it wasn't very well known,
No.
throughout the Hulu and Crave community, and now it's become such a big thing that so many people know about it. But
Yeah.
I think we were definitely very early on in that game.
Well, they were already on Hulu by the time we found them. So
Right, the first season.
Right, but that meant I think they had already done at least 5 seasons.
There was a couple seasons on there, but again, it wasn't.
Yeah, we weren't early on with like the Crave TV, which is only in Canada.
Right.
But as soon as they were, there's not too many things that you could say, in your lifetime that you're like, oh, I was in the ground floor on that. There's not too many things that you could say about that. But the ones
Me
that you
personally?
can, anybody. But the ones that you can say about that, you tend to cling to that shit. Like,
Oh, sure.
man, I feel like I saw the value in that, and that other people got bored, and I felt justified. Like
Well, I
that was
even
a bit
recommended it
overreal.
to other female coworkers who thought it was hilarious and started watching it.
Which surprised me because, they've got a couple of female stars or main actors and actresses in the show, but I did not see it as being like a. If you'd asked me, do you think that's going to be the hit with the ladies? I'd be like, I'm not really sure.
Hell yeah.
I don't think so.
And you know what's crazy too, in all honesty, and anyone I've recommended it to or Danielle's recommended it to, Joe's obviously the only person that's going to shit on something. But fucking Letterkenny, I don't understand. It's so stupid.
I'm not shitting on it because you guys like it. I'm not shitting on it. I just don't get it. I mean, I get it, but it's not my. It's not my kind of humor. It's not my kind of humor. That's all I'm saying.
No, I have not.
Let me say this.
Let me
say this.
explain the story.
In my
Silver
eyes,
spoon.
Letterkenny is the watermelon flavored Pop-Tart of the Pop-Tart family. Just kind of down there.
That's pretty. That's
It's on the
pretty
bottom
fair
of the
statement.
shelf.
But no,
Bottom of the shelf.
any-
It's been expired for like a couple months and nobody really wants it.
The frog and the
So
scorpion.
that's all I got, Corey.
Frog was on the bank of a river wanting to get across.
No,
And
but
and
you know what though?
Scorpion approached him and said, "Hey, if you get on my back, I'll take you across the river. He's
I thought it was a crocodile.
You're a scorpion. If I get on your back and we start to go across the river, you're going to sting me. He's like, no, we're good, man. I'm just going across the river. I don't want anything from you. Just hop on my back. We'll go over there anyway.
Is this story going to take any longer?
So the frog thinks about it. He goes, okay.
Frogs
So he
can
hops on his
swim.
back. Halfway across the river, scorpion stings him. And he's like, but we're both going to drown. You just stung me. He's like, yeah. Well, it's like, why did you do that? We're both going to die. He's like, because I'm a fucking scorpion. Joe is the scorpion.
Wait, and where does Pop-Tarts come into this fucking story?
Well, a frog can swim, so I don't understand why he's getting on the
He's
back
just been
of
stung
a
by
crustacean like a
stung by a scorpion. So
Wait, so Pop-Tarts can swim?
Yes.
anyway, I choose Drunk Cory.
See, if we were all fucking destroyed out of our fucking mind on weed, that would have been
That would have
hilarious.
been a great story, right?
Ah, Pop-Tarts can swim.
Pop-Tarts, frogs, scorpions.
I get it.
People that have
Did-
done drugs.
Please tell me that you just made that up on the fly right then and there.
No.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, that's like a
No,
Chinese
well,
proverb.
I would take
or
credit for it
whatever
if I
the hell
did, but I
it's
did
called.
not.
Oh
So.
well.
I did make up the
Well-
Pop-Tart swimming thing, though.
Oh, yeah, I figured that
Like
much.
that.
Really?
That wasn't hard to figure out.
Instant.
But yeah, no, there's never been a single person that it's been recommended to that has came back and been like, yeah, no, that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Everyone's absolutely loved it. As a matter of fact,
Other than me, right?
Sarah and Matt
Other than Joe.
watched it,
I don't hate it, I
binge
just
watched
don't
it
get it.
even when they were at the gym on treadmills.
Well, that's the place to watch it. I mean, half the
Yeah, my friend
half the
from
show
work
takes
and her
place in the
husband.
gym or on the treadmill.
She said that they went to the gym and actually watched it there while they were running. I'm like, that's commitment,
Yeah.
but they loved it. So
But to round
How's
it
that
out,
commitment? The television's right there.
to round it
It's not
out,
like you're walking across the fucking.
you had to turn. They had to turn
Put
it
in
on.
a DVD.
Yeah.
Well, they had
Right
this.
there.
No.
Joking.
Okay, I was like, they don't just stream it at the gym.
I know, but this is a joke.
They
So-
should though.
to round it out, the reason I brought it up was because I wanted Cory to kind of lay the groundwork, and throw the pillows on the ground that is lava, so we can step on it and lead us into perhaps liking Letterkenny. If you don't, or if you don't know what it is, to give you kind of an insight. That being said, we went and saw one of their live shows
All the way out in Chicago.
way out in Chicago. One of the best trips in the world.
Was it though?
Once we got there,
Once we got there.
And before we left.
Even when we
Yeah, it
got
was good.
there.
Wait.
I lost
You
7
got lost on the way to Chicago?
No.
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 Oh, okay.
No, but
I'm
I
like, once you got, I'm like,
no. There
take
was
a wrong turn.
there was loss going on because I lost 17 pounds in the back seat of Cory's car
Wait,
because it was
what happened?
120
It was hot.
degrees.
In Cory's car.
Hold on. It
Why?
was hot in the back seat of the car. It was really
Well, who was in
chilly
the
up in
back
the
seat
front
with
seat
you?
of the
It
car.
was.
Danielle
Very
was
chilly.
in.
She was like, "Oh, it's so cold.
Danielle was in Daisy
it's so
Dukes
cold up here." Oh
and
God.
a halter top.
Can you put the heat on, Cory?
I don't wear halter tops.
And-
If Nick and I were in the backseat, just sweating bullets.
Cory's Under Armour
Look at him.
moisture wicking shirt was rippling in the breeze of all three.
You guys good back there?
vents. Of all three
No,
vents.
no. Hold on. Did you hear what he just said? Oh, so Cory asked you if you guys were good back there? Like, no,
Oh, no.
That was never. That was not a sentence that came
Cory's-
from.
Cory
Never comes
Selesky-
out of
Cory
his
didn't give a
mouth.
fuck how we were doing
Yeah.
back there.
Cory Selesky, who wears shorts in the wintertime, actually,
Inner fat guy.
no, he actually caught a chill. Caught a chill halfway. Why did he catch a chill? Because the vents weren't going to the back, and there were no vents in the back. It was 120 degrees in the back. You could have cooked cookies on the back window.
I'm dying.
But Cory got so cold because 3 vents were facing his face,
They're blowing right on his balls
right up his short
for
pants.
2 hours.
that he was like, ooh,
Sounds like
this
Cory.
is almost actually too chilly, and he would start turning it down while Danielle was in a frigid induced coma in the front seat, and Bob and I were begging for air in the back. Bob actually, his head started bobbing back and forth, and smacked
It's called heat stroke.
smacked the window, and he passed out from heat exhaustion.
Multiple times.
And his only answer was to open the window and put his face next to it. But that wasn't a good answer because it was 85 and had just rained.
I was just trying to.
So
Just self-preservation.
the
sir.
most humid air in the world. So Bob was actually right in his endeavors because Bob was correct. He knew what would happen. He created a vacuum. He forced his head against the window. By opening said window, he caused all of the air conditioning to blow past Cory's grizzly beard and be sucked past his face. But in turn, it was almost like breaching the hull of the Titanic. It started letting other things in. So because
rusty and brown color.
What are the other things that you're talking about?
So because Bob let all the
random things flying into the car.
Yep. Because Bob let the freezing cold air breeze past his face, me being on the other side of the car, all the discrepancies in the vehicle that is 15 years old, I had hot, moist air coming through the speakers on my leg and against my face.
Cory would only play some swamp rock.
And I'm like, dude.
Rosanna.
Yeah.
Bob, you got it.
Credence all the way down to Chicago. Nothing but Credence.
We've spent 2.5 hours getting this
Coming up around the bend. Yeah.
We've better run through the jungle.
We spent 2.5 hours getting this level of 77-degree air down from
77. I'm gonna kill from 77.
Yeah, down from 89.
Gonna run through the jungle.
And he was asleep for most of it.
On the bayou.
But if you guys are done singing,
No. Sorry.
Let me just mute those mics. No, but so that being said, there's a Letterkenny Detroit on March 10th, and it was amazing. It was an amazing show. It's hysterical. Watching the show is hysterical. Seeing it live is even funnier. You got to do yourself a favor. Watch a couple episodes. Have a couple drinks before you do it. It really helps.
Whoa! So you got to get boozed up before you fucking watch?
No,
it?
you don't have to.
No, but
No.
as he said, it helps.
You put on Python or Kids in the Hall. I don't have to be fucking
no.
boozed up.
You know what? But if you did, it helps.
Oh God.
Because it's like this. You ever have a couple beers and watch stand up, and you just enjoy it more.
The old Norm Macdonald episodes.
Oh man, it's
1,000 ways to please your lady. Bye.
Do yourself a favor.
Please your man. Bye.
March
Some woman.
March 10th, Letterkenny. It's gonna be amazing. Bob actually was gracious enough to purchase the tickets like 2 or 3 months ago.
You're giving me too much credit. When he says Bob was gracious enough to purchase the tickets, that means that Bob, without consulting anyone, decided we were all going and bought all the tickets.
Actually,
that is what happened.
I think what Bob said was,
you all owe me
hey, man.
$60 per ticket.
Bob old school,
No.
old school Amazoned it, where all of a sudden you order something when you're drunk as shit, and then it shows up like 3 days later. You're like,
No. Corey knows. I've done those drunken middle of the night Amazon purchase nights.
Oh, dude.
This was not that. This was just me going like, I'm sure they'd love to go.
We already went once before.
$120.
By the way,
go again
for a pair of tickets. Yeah.
But
It doesn't happen every day.
no, Bob is not. It's not a situation.
don't.
Carte blanche.
I did put them in a precarious position where I'm like, hey, guess what? We're going to Letterkenny.
Pay me,
like,
motherfuckers.
awesome.
By the way, it's
You'll be
$80
$60 a piece.
Oh, all right.
It was 65, I think.
Sure.
Don't you think that?
Oh yeah, 65 for you guys.
I don't mean to bump off the Letterkenny thing, but don't you think that like Prime nowadays, since like
You guys got a
now
deal?
everybody's used to like getting a package like the next day or the 2 days later. Don't you think like Amazon Prime's taken away from like that night where you just go home and right before you go to bed you order something and like a
Rub
week and
one
a half
out.
later, no, it would show up on your porch and like.
What is this
Like, what
double
did I
dog
order?
doing here?
And you slice it open, you're like,
Slice it open.
well, the package. You know what I mean?
It's not,
No.
It's not cake.
No, I don't.
It's not cake, Joe.
Everything that you order now on Amazon is pretty much Prime. It's
And
2
it's
days.
freaking fantastic.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
exactly. It's great.
If you're a Prime
No,
member, yeah,
but
it is.
2 or 3 years ago, you used to like stumble home and you'd order something and it would show up like a week and a half
No,
later.
it was still 2 day shipping.
That's bullshit.
Okay, maybe-
I don't
Actually,
want any-
Okay,
Amazon,
not-
sometimes
not-
it's 1 day shipping.
Okay, but
Or
not 2
same
days.
day.
Okay, so maybe it was 5 years, 6 years before Prime was around.
Did anybody
you
have
show
it
up on
then?
your porch, you're like, what the fuck did I order? And you open it up and you're like, oh, that's right. I did order that.
Do
You know what? I've never had a better experience than those times.
You
where I
remember
open it
that,
and
right?
I'm like,
You're like,
Oh, wow.
what did I
That's
order?
exactly what I wanted.
No, see, I'm the complete opposite.
Really?
If I order something, I want it there now.
No,
No. But I'm
before
saying,
that, like,
I'm saying,
I've been
when
blacked out
when we're at the
before where
bar,
I'm like, oh
when
my
we're at
God,
the
I
bar,
ordered that.
and we're talking about shit, and I'm like drunkenly going like, oh yeah, I gotta put that in my cart, check out, and then 2 days later it shows up, and I'm like, man, I don't remember ordering that.
Hot dog.
What
well,
is that?
That yes.
There's nothing better than a package where you're like, and you open it up, you're like, oh my god, I would love that. I can't believe I ordered that for myself. I love me.
What's even better though is when you order something like super small, like the size of the shot glass, and it comes in a package like this big, and you're like, oh, is it like a new pair of shoes or something big? And you're like, you open it up and it's like this thing, and you're like, or like a, like something real small. And you're like, God damn it!
As
Like,
long
I
as
was
you're not
expecting
trying
like
to figure out like
a
what
big
is
pair of
that,
shoes.
and why did I order
Yeah,
it?
Right.
why did it come
I
in
don't
a
know how to use
package?
this.
And why
Do-
did it come
do
in a
you remember,
package
Cory?
this fucking big?
The turtle that I ordered?
Oh, when we were in Portland,
Yeah.
and you
An
were just
actual
trying.
turtle?
I ordered like 7 things,
We-
and they all showed up in a big box.
So we were in Portland for March Madness,
Yeah.
and
The donut,
The only time you're
the
ever gonna
donut
go.
incident
no,
with
this
the bum.
this was the night of the donut incident.
No, but
Yeah.
the donut
Um,
incident with the bum.
Yes, but
Right.
Homeless?
we were talking about Mophie phone cases for the new iPhone that came out,
Yep.
and Bob had happened to have a new iPhone at the time, and he was upset that he didn't have a Mophie case for it.
Yeah.
So Todd and his wife
Like
showed
an
up.
OtterBox?
It's a battery. It's a charging
got
case.
battery. Yeah.
So Todd shows up, and we were already pretty deep into it. And Todd, he was like, "Oh yeah, I already have a Mophie case." So Bob's looking, he's like, "Oh, gotta order it." So he said, this is after several double Jamesons on the rocks, and he's like, ordered the case. All said and done. And about 4 days later,
We got back from the trip.
I
I must have had a bunch of other stuff already in my cart.
Like 4 of them?
Because I just said,
And-
purchase, check out.
And Bob's like, this huge box showed up on my doorstep. And I started opening it, and there was stuff in it that
Books and movies.
I didn't even know.
Books.
He's
Yeah,
like, I found,
CDs and-
he's like, I found the Mophie case, which I knew I was getting. But then he's like, there's this.
Was this
12
was,
other
was
things.
Borders book still around when you were?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
and,
Oh, okay.
and he's like,
Barnes and Noble is still around. Actually.
he's like, but there's this turtle that I don't know what it's for,
That was left.
and
Yeah.
I don't know what you even do with it.
I did not remember. I'm like,
Love
why
him
would I
and-
have ordered
love
that,
him
and
and
what does it
stroke.
do? So I had to look at
It's
it.
like,
It sits
you
on
gotta do some research.
You take a pint glass, and you. Sorry for the loyal Schnozzcast listeners who've already heard the story, but you take a pint glass that you would normally get like a pint of Guinness in, and you put the turtle sits like exactly on the top of a pint glass, and you take a spoon, and then you pour it over the turtle, and that's how you make a black and tan because it just
Separates it.
It separates the alcohol absolutely.
Oh.
10%
But I
battery.
didn't realize it at the time. I'm like, why would I
10%
have
battery
ordered
on
a
Facebook
fucking
Live.
Huh?
stainless
10%
steel
battery on
turtle?
Facebook Live. On your phone.
Half, please. Please.
No, you're good.
Well, I'm thinking of an actual turtle.
Come
So
on,
it's like
Cory.
it's like-
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
it's not an actual
drink. What's in a black and tan? I know it's like White Russian, but black.
black and tan, Guinness and
Kahlua? Clue?
no.
No, I'm
like
thinking white. Okay,
like Bass Ale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Just
a
tan
it's a
part.
bomb. Are you dropping in or?
No, it's not like an Irish car bomb. That's what the turtle does. It separates the alcohol over the back of the turtle.
So it's like an
that-
actual pint of beer, but it just
Right, but you can see then the
Gotcha.
Guinness literally sits on top of, if you pour it right, sits on top of the lighter or the heavier Bass Ale.
Gotcha.
So it creates
That's
that
pretty good.
dark and light contrast to the pint of booze. All right, I got 2 hours 19. Do you
Yeah.
guys think we could do a round of pick of the week?
Can we do the third half?
30 more minutes.
The third half?
Can we do the third half of
Yeah.
the pod?
30 more minutes.
Third half of the podcast. Can we do pick of the week?
Can I ask something real
Danielle,
quick?
do you have anything? No? All right.
I didn't
So
do much
when
this
you
week,
went-
to
That's
be
all right.
honest.
What you
so-
say on the 22nd when you have your
Yeah.
somebody slice?
Yeah.
Where am I going to be?
I don't know. Where are you going to be?
I'm getting the boot.
You're not getting the boot.
So you're gonna have 7 people? 6 people?
It's going to be, if you're coming,
Tell
We
you what,
might have a new format.
I'll send you guys chicken parmesan.
well,
and you
we're
guys.
not going to have more microphones. I can tell you that much. So
Won't we?
No, we won't.
Maybe we can share it like two lead singers.
Bob, we may.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, I'm not telling you can't come. You're always welcome, dude. Always welcome. All right.
Well, thank you.
So, Joe, you got anything you want to do for like? Actually, this would be your second week in a row for the Please Don't Pick the Week.
There you go. Oh, I got
Which
it.
you
Okay.
probably have
all
no
right.
shortage of those things.
No.
While Cory and Nick and I think of picks of the week. Why don't
Oh,
you-
I have
Live
I
action
have pick
legend
of the week.
fucking sucks. Stupid.
Go ahead and do your Please Don't Pick of the week.
Why wouldn't you hang it over the
No?
support?
You want me to go first? No.
If you know. Or
No,
you
I
know
got.
about it?
I
Okay.
thought
I didn't know.
Do two at
I
once.
wasn't prepped for this.
Okay, that's fair enough.
This-
Anybody? I can go first if you guys want for pick of the week.
Yeah,
Are we gonna do these shots?
Can it be
No,
anything?
or we
though?
can do the
Had a
shots
girl,
first
had
as
a girl,
well.
Danielle.
I'm like, it's
Can
getting
it be-
warm sitting here, so.
Can it be anything? Doesn't have to be a movie or a TV.
No.
It has to be
No.
something that you saw and you hated,
Okay.
and you're
No,
advising us
not
not
pick.
to
Or
watch.
No,
you
not pick of the
use-
week.
He's doing Please Don't Pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh,
Cheers, Joe.
Danielle's already going.
Woo!
I need you guys to let me know when the podcast is like about a minute away.
Minute
We're
away.
in the podcast right now.
No. Because
Game
I
over?
have a secret that I
What?
want to tell everybody.
Joe's podcast secret.
And you can say that right before I tell it, but it's
All
very,
right, all right.
it's very amusing and everyone will laugh, I think.
Oh, that's setting a high bar, sir. Okay.
No.
Let's we'll let you noodle on that for a little bit.
Well, since we
So
have
let-
we have it on.
Let's say that for the end. We'll go on with pick of the week.
All right,
My pick of the week is there's a HBO. Has anybody seen the HBO new series McMillions?
I heard it was good.
Yeah, it's really
Of
good.
The Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly scandal from back in the early 90s, I think. Late 80s, early 90s. Somehow they determined that everyone who had actually won the McDonald's Monopoly game they all knew each other.
What?
And they couldn't figure out why. Yeah, so it started this big FBI investigation, and it's a cool, like, I
Like
think
they
they're
were
on
sharing
episode.
pieces?
Hang on. Is
It's deeper than that.
Oh.
this
And I don't want to spoil it because it's a really good.
this on Netflix?
It's on HBO now.
H.
Yeah.
We have
I'm not-
HBO
again,
Go.
don't say how we got it.
Nope.
That's fine. But anyway, yeah, McMillions, new
Millions,
series.
okay.
They put, I think they're on the third episode now. And they're an hour each. I don't know how many there are going to be, but each
Probably
one
till the
is-
end of the story.
Yeah, so let's just say that number is 45.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they're sort of going through how the FBI set up their case, how they could possibly figure out what they figured out, and how deep it actually how deep the rabbit hole goes. So that's all I'll say because I don't want to spoil it. It's one of those things where it's not like a binge watch, like they're literally releasing one episode every week. So I've been really, really pleased. It's been like pretty riveting.
Was this when like the game first came out at McDonald's?
Not first came out,
Okay.
but after it had run for, I don't know,
When it was, like,
7 years, 10 years,
Popular.
somehow, and I won't spoil how, they figured out that there were some discrepancies and some aberrations with who was winning the games and how they were being won. And that's all I'll say.
Okay.
So, McMillions on HBO, fantastic. And you can still get in pretty early because, again, they're doing it every week, so it's not, they're still releasing it as they go. So,
That does sound pretty good. I'll give you that.
yeah,
Definitely give you
super
that one.
fascinating. I mean, who can't
Very
relate
good,
to
yeah.
McDonald's Monopoly?
Ladies.
Oh, we all tried to win at some point.
Yeah, and we all failed.
Yes, true.
Nick or Cory? You want to go next? Anybody got a pick?
Yeah, I do. 313. What's the name of the chips, Cory?
313
The
chips.
chips are
Cory?
not over here.
Danielle.
No, there they are.
313 Urban Chips. So Danielle, they're from where in Detroit? What's the name of the street? It's the company. Tell us the name of the company. I don't have the chips with me. That's the only reason.
313 Urban,
Urban
Chips.
Chips.
Yeah, bottom with the name of the company.
I can't pronounce that word. Mexican food.
Chips.
Pass
Pronounce
the
it.
chips over.
Chips.
Pass them over.
Pasadena?
Hacienda, Mexican foods.
Yeah,
Hot
So
You mean hot?
313 Urban Chips, Hacienda Mexican Foods on what street in Detroit, Danielle?
Buchanan?
On Buchanan Street. So they sell them.
Like another trick question?
Here, pass them over here so I can just
Here,
take
can you go this way?
because I literally just got them today. They come in a brown paper bag with a window. These are chili lime. I don't care about all this, but there's probably people that do. Zero trans fat, gluten-free, cholesterol-free, stone ground, non-GMO corn, and absolutely no preservatives. So by tomorrow, these will be stale.
No, I wasn't.
But they're absolutely fantastic. You ever get like that one Dorito?
The best Dorito in the bag?
Yes.
Yeah.
That has just got so much
All the
Doritos,
flavoring on it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much Dorito seasoning, it's almost like
And you hit it like 2 minutes after you open the bag, so you're like, well, it's all downhill from here.
it's almost like
Everything
one of
else sucks.
Fuck the
And
rest of these
one
chips.
that actually fits your mouth cleanly, where you don't have to like break a corner off to
Yeah.
get in your mouth.
It's almost like maroon and like brown.
Right.
Like Wayne
Because
Street.
You're
there's
just chasing
so
the
much-
dragon after you get that one.
You really are. Every chip in this bag is like that Dorito. You can see.
Dude, you should write a commercial for them. That would seriously sell.
I was gonna say, yeah, you should send that out
Doesn't
to
include
that company.
Yeah, if you were like, every chip in this bag is like the best chip you got in any Dorito bag
Hi.
you had,
Dude, they're absolutely
their sales would go
doused,
through the roof.
doused in seasoning. This is chili lime flavor with jalapeno, and
That's
it is.
just, yeah, it reminds me of
Bob's
that
gonna choke on his beer.
stupid ass Arby's commercial.
Please do.
With they're made in Detroit. I think they're $3.99 a bag. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I'm
Gotta
related,
be authentic.
I'm related to several Mexicans, so
Hi,
I
I'm Nick Bader.
I-
Speaking for all Mexicans.
It's
I'm not speaking for any Mexicans. I just know how to say it.
the Bader family speaking for Mexicans.
Just like
Yeah.
I understand that
Hi.
they're not peppers, they're chiles.
Us strong Germans speaking for Mexicans.
Nick Bader, 2020.
I'm Nick
I
Bader.
understand the plight of the
Nick Bader
Mexicans.
Chavez.
So they're very simple
Oh,
with
Nick
the
Bader
ingredients.
Chavez.
There's no anything artificial. I'm reading it right now for the first time. I just got them today. It's the first time.
It's just
They're delicious.
What are the ingredients?
The
corn and hot.
the way you were putting everything out seemed like you've been buying these for years.
I'm just reading this for the first
And then I'm just reading this for the first time.
My grandpappy used to eat.
You were going strong until you put that in.
Yeah.
It was
I'll
very.
be honest. They're delicious.
I'm looking at the outside of the bag for the first time.
Actually,
let me tell you all.
Let me taste.
Let me give you a history of the company.
Let me taste one for the first time.
No, not
Oh.
tasting. But I could probably look at you and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Cory. What does Fireball have? Is it GMO free? What are the ingredients?" And you'd be like, "I don't know. I drink it every fucking day of my life, but I have no fucking."
I'm not
clue."
sure he would say that.
I'm sure he would.
No.
If you're
okay.
if you're
Go ahead.
scarfing down tortilla chips, though, do you really give a fuck what's in those?
I
Yes,
I
yeah, you do.
personally don't.
No, you don't.
But there are people that do.
So you're
Yeah.
scarfing down a bag of nacho cheese Doritos. Do you turn it over and be like,
It,
ooh?
no,
Not
if
Doritos, not
Doritos don't qualify as something that you care about the ingredients.
No, but you get what I
I
mean.
mean, look, Bob.
when you
look,
buy, right, when you buy
when you
a-
look at that,
yeah, absolutely.
those
No.
those
I
are
don't
pic-
ever look at that shit on a Doritos.
No, I don't either.
Because I know what I'm getting.
Because
I'm getting
Doritos
a-
don't have any.
Right.
They're full of that.
all of that shit.
They
Yes, there's
stamp-
tons of all of those things
They
in
s-
Doritos.
they
But
s-
when I buy a brown paper bag that was made locally in Detroit, absolutely I look at all that shit.
They stamp that on the label to deter you from the actual shit that's in these fucking things. It's just like when you have like a bottle of something, they're like, look, 13 grams of protein. But then you turn it over and you're like, oh, it's 26 grams of fucking sugar in it. Really in small writing. The sugar is in really small writing, but the protein, big writing, huge writing. Look how healthy. No GMOs, no this, no that.
The important.
Am I right? Am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong.
The,
Yeah, exactly.
the important
Dude,
part
they
about
they will stamp the healthy shit all day long.
You are correct, but we're not going to go on
Well, there you
all
go.
night about this.
Those are
or
pretty
we're not
tasty.
gonna
though.
just completely shit on Nick's pick of the week.
Fuck you, Nick.
Not at all. Not at all.
But
I'm sorry, Nick.
But here's the thing. There's a couple bullet points that I'd like to add. Obviously, I just had them today, but I think
What
they're
would I
fantastic.
kill for a bullet right now?
I could make that happen if you'd like. Yeah, for
Cory, I'll give you $200 for your gun.
for folks that are interested in stuff that's local, that is gluten-free, cholesterol, stone ground, non-GMO, no preservatives. There's a big audience for that, and these are awesome. 313 Urban Chips. They're
Not
amazing.
really, because
And they have different
they would be
flavors,
Frito-Lay. If there was a big audience, they'd be Frito-Lay. Right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
God.
there's a big audience.
Kidding, Nick.
Recently, people
They're-
are on board with this.
They are delicious, and they are.
I'm sorry, Joe. What was
Full.
that?
I said they are delicious,
Oh, okay.
and they are full.
Bob, just cut out the rest.
What? What did I do?
No, I'm saying cut out the rest of what Joe said, other than they are delicious.
Oh, I'll just apply my Joe filter, and
Click.
So it's tied into the ups and downs of Joe's specific voice.
I'm gonna get my own T-shirt made that just says "snip snip."
Cory, your thoughts?
Yeah, the chips are. No, they are a little spicy.
Cory, you got a pick of the week?
I do.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
So in the past couple of days, I've had. Nom, 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 nom.
Nick, hold on. For the people who are not watching and just listening, Nick has spent the entire episode making sure that he like a good sport, making sure that he swivels his chair. And
He's
does
been
not
trying.
vape into the mic. So now, following his pick for the 313 Urban Chips, he grabbed a few and slapped his hand over the microphone just to make sure that no one had to hear him chomping and chewing the cud on these chips, which for
Chewing
some
the
reason
cud,
was
very
hilarious to me.
To be fair,
To be fair,
It's gonna
I
be a
got
while.
interrupted quite a bit.
You
on
did.
my-
You did.
On my bit.
You did.
So I want everyone to know that I'm
By
enjoying
one Joseph Arguido.
He was talking about potato
Not-
chips. It's not a fucking.
they're actually
Oh, they're
tortilla
tortillas.
It's not a
chips.
world
they're-
news
they're
fucking.
Mexican
Whatever, but
tortilla
you do-
chips.
He interrupted me. I was talking about shoelaces.
There's no potato.
All right.
Oh, so
Cory
if we
Slesky,
disagree,
your,
we can just
pick of the week, sir.
All right, my pick of the week. I'm going with Day One Journal.
Okay, explain, sir.
As we discussed a little bit last night, decided for some reason at this point in my life, wanted to start a journal and enter everything that happened throughout the day into this journal. So I
So
researched.
it's a diary.
It's a journal.
A diary.
It's a fucking journal.
You can call it what you want, but either way, it's nice actually, like sitting down at the end of the day and typing out my thoughts and
I do the same thing.
what happened throughout the day.
Kidding.
So I researched a bunch of different apps and all that, and came across this one day journal that I can do it on my laptop, or it also is on my phone and on my tablet. So it all syncs together, and it does locations, like, where you made the entry at. And I was actually really surprised because it actually gives the not only the time and date, but temperature of the day and like what else happened that day. And then you have options to, like, let's say I didn't want to sit down and actually type out the entire entry. I can just dictate into the phone or laptop, whatever I'm using, and it'll make the journal entry for you. And you can add pictures, videos, and as I was telling Bob last night, this came from a movie I was watching. That this guy, he was an Iraq War veteran, and when he got back, he made journal entries every day, and whether it be on his phone, whether it been on his computer, whether it been just his voice or just making videos and entering them in his journal. I mean, that's pretty sweet. So if someone can go back and see all the stuff that you've done over days, years, months, whatever, I'm a guy. I just like to have that recorded, and maybe one day, after there's enough entries, if it's interesting enough, get it published or whatnot. Who knows? But it's just to have all those thoughts to go back and look on.
Posthumous?
Yes.
You ever like write it? Like actually write it?
No. It's, this is like I'm literally only on the 4th day of using this app.
No, I know that, but like pulling out like a book. I have a big book of
Stuff you've written down.
Not every day, but once in a while, kind of thing. When you pull out like a
This year, you almost want to go too high.
when you pull out like a actual like paper and a pen. I'm not saying I'm not. And then you like write it down. You're like, and then you kind of like you draw in between the lines and kind of like do one of those.
I get where you're coming from,
Because you have more
but
surface
my love of technology and as I told Danielle and Bob and Nick, I can sit down and type a paper out no problem. I love actually just sitting in front of a computer and typing. So when seeing this, it kind of that was the draw to it. And with that, the first entry I made, because the very couple people I told about it, they're like, oh, well, so you're just like, well, I went to work, period, end of journal.
Good day.
And I'm like, no, the first entry I made was basically 6 pages long. And I have done one every single day since I got the app. And every entry has been basically just as long. So I start at the beginning of my day and go all the way through, not major details, but decent details, and all the way to the point where I'm actually sitting there still typing it out and say, hey, this is where I'm currently at, and I'm finishing this journal entry. And, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, and like I told you yesterday too, Bob, it's more of a novel entry than just a simple journal entry.
Yeah.
So, like I said, who knows? Maybe one day it'll be something that gets published.
Well, not even that though. It's something that you see a year later. That you wrote a year ago, and you're like, whatever. You were in a good place.
Oh,
or a
yeah,
bad place,
and
something like that. You're like,
and that's something I've yet to see.
not
because
even that.
it
It's
just
like
started.
it's like going up to like the wall and just making a mark on the wall, and coming back a year later, you're like, I made that a year later.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's like this backtrack. You're like, I did that 1 year ago, 365 days ago.
It's
I did
very
that.
therapeutic to take
beyond belief.
take stock of
Yeah.
how you're feeling and what your life is like at that moment, so you can track like, am I going in the right direction,
Yeah.
or am I not going in the right direction?
Right.
And not
And if I'm not, what do I do? How can I go back and analyze those things that I've said or written down in the weeks or months prior to that to determine how I got to where I am?
and it's not even a big thing. It's like such a small. Last year,
Right.
on my birthday, we went up to Ontonagon, like up in like the hook, like the Keweenaw of the Upper Peninsula, and we hiked our way from where our yurt was. It was me, Donnie, my brother, and my friend Matt. And we walked like there from where our yurt was. We had to
What is
park
a
and
yurt?
like walk like a mile in,
What is a year?
and it's like a tent, like a big round tent.
I
and-
swear to God, I didn't know.
We walked in, and we put all our stuff there, and it was September like 19th, my birthday. So it was hot, so there was no like discomfort or anything. But then down like our trail, about 3 miles, there was like there was a waterfall, not a big waterfall, but like a rolling waterfall called Trat Falls, and it was nice, and we all hiked there, and it was a great day. And I took, like, I think it was a dime or a nickel, and I found a tree there, and is he rolling his eyes?
I'm trying to figure out where this is going.
Well, it's like the journal entry.
I'm intrigued. No, keep going.
There was a tree right next to the falls, and like there was like a little divot in the root, and I took a dime and I stuck it there, and I stuck a big rock over it, and I tucked it, and I'm like, you know what, I want to come back here next year and find that dime or find that nickel or whatever I hid there, It's like the same thing. Like you write something and then you come back like a year later and you're like, wow, like I did that 1 year ago. I mean, and over what a lifespan of what 70 years, 75 years, 80 years. You're like, that was 1 year that I did that in. And that's a divot.
Yeah.
That's a divot right there.
I'm saying
I'll never do it again.
I'm just interested to see where it goes, and like I said, I've been keeping up on it, and and anyone that's looking to do something along those lines, Day One Journal. That's
great recommendation.
Just question. Is it something that's socially available, like to the public, or is it just for yourself?
Oh, I mean,
his journal or the software?
His journal.
I mean, you can share it if you want to.
You don't.
No, currently I don't. I want to make it something that I
of course
I do for myself.
I understand.
Like Joseph, maybe once I get a year in or something like that, if I think it's interesting enough or that someone's gonna really pick up on it, then I might share it to see where.
But the option's there.
Yeah, the option is definitely there.
That's really cool.
So that is my pick of the week. Day One Journal.
Is it an app?
Yeah, it's an app that you can get on Mac, iOS, and Android. Mm-hmm. And you were in the bathroom, but it syncs to all your devices. So
do you do you articulate or do you speak to it? Do you dictate to it? Or is it something that you can type? You
can put voice recordings in it. It won't actually dictate it out, but
text.
But you can have a voice recording. So if you're really stuck that you can't make it an actual typing entry that day, you put a voice recording in.
If you're on the edge of a cliff and you can't really type things out on your phone, you can be like,
take a photo, put it in there.
I'm on the edge of a fucking cliff. Look at me.
And also,
if I survive this, maybe I'll type it out.
That's exactly it.
You know what though? But that's the shit that could keep you off that fucking edge of the goddamn cliff.
It could.
Seriously.
Or it could let people know that you didn't commit suicide later on when they find your phone.
Still alive.
I really hope I don't fall off this cliff.
I don't even know how I got on this cliff. I'm not a hiker.
Slippery.
Just showed up in the Grand Canyon one day.
So we want to go to, because I know Danielle does not have one. Bob had to step away for a second for a reason, but we want to go to Joe for. Do you have a don't pick of the week, Joe?
I did, but no, I don't.
You? Oh, I think you. I
was putting too many through my head.
I almost think that you always do.
Oh, but I don't know. Should it be a movie?
No, it doesn't have. Joe, anything you can think of that you're like, fuck this. Absolutely not. Whether it be another company's pizza or
anything.
It doesn't have to be a movie.
Anything.
Yes.
Certain people.
It's not people.
No.
Products.
Oh, you said anything.
It's products. Things
okay,
like
certain products being allowed to drive a car, a massive car, with something wrapped around their head and a cell phone taped to their goddamn ear, and they have no fucking clue, and they're heading west from East Dearborn down. Enough said?
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Thank you.
No, that
oh my
not
God.
Really
there needs to be fucking laws. There needs to be laws against gender, religion, everything on what times that you can drive during the day.
Shots yet?
Period.
This is without the shots?
We're waiting for you.
This is without the shots?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't even want that.
We don't know where it's going.
Yeah, I'm not sure you need those. All
right. No, well, I know.
Here's the last shot of the episode.
No, I know. It's going to be cut out, but
I'm out.
I don't know.
I'm
I
out
never
of
heard of it.
everything.
So.
She's out of Crown Royal.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord. Ooh.
No, we're saying physical things, not people.
That's very physical.
No, not
couldn't be any more physical.
Not people. I don't pick of the week.
Please don't pick of the week.
I don't pick.
Please don't pick. Doesn't have to be a movie. No.
You still don't know?
No, dude, I've been trying.
All right.
I
well,
do have something.
Go ahead.
All right, let's go with
That's
As a
not
pick?
a don't.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. Let's,
No,
let's,
as a pick.
Hold on. Let's table. Joe, we're going to table that until your
I know,
next
that's what I
visit.
said. Go ahead.
Yep. Let's throw it over to Danielle.
It's actually a Facebook group that I follow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's called. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. 'Cause I just forgot what it's called. It's called Simply Sales with Alyssa and Sarah with an H. They post a lot of Amazon deals.
Which part was with the H? That's all I'm fixating
Sarah.
on right now.
Sarah with
Simply.
an H.
Okay.
S-H.
Sarah.
I-M-P.
But that's where I found a lot of like Amazon deals. The Echoes that Cory and I got were because they said they like posted something about it was a buy one get one
Okay.
kind of sale. So
Okay.
they constantly throughout the day. I think if you use their link, I think they get like a proceeds
I'm
or
sure they get
whatever.
some sort of a
Of
kickback,
course.
yeah.
So I mean, but they also do like other websites throughout, like Walmart, just like little boutiques, like whatever they happen to find. I don't know how they get their information.
Mm-hmm.
You've run across a few.
Oh,
different-
I've bought a bunch of things because of
okay.
them.
Well, that's a good
It is,
recommendation
'cause,
then.
I mean, they'll post
You've
like
actually used them and can
multiple times.
vouch for them.
Because they'll post like lightning deals, and if you don't log on to Amazon that day, you don't see what the lightning deals are. So they give you like a heads up kind of thing.
Okay, so let's do it again a little more slowly and maybe like spelling out if you need to. Like,
Of course.
who are they gonna go see? Who are we recommending on Facebook?
It's what the group's called.
Yeah.
What's the group?
Simply Sales with Alyssa and Sarah.
Alyssa's A-L-Y.
Hold on, let me check. I don't know this one.
I want to make sure to direct people. If we're recommending this, let's direct them to the right place to go.
ALYSSA.
And Sarah, S-A-R-A-H.
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's a scary picture right there.
With Alyssa,
Unboxing a winning slime package.
Simply Sales with. I'm gonna type it out right now.
Yes.
A-L-A-L-Y, not O, S-S-A,
Oh my god.
And then the
And-
and sign.
and
Oh, the
Sarah.
inside. That's the key.
Yep.
Oh, it's the and sign, not
Yes, it's
not,
the and
not
sign.
A and D. Okay, well, that's important to know.
From groups. Sorry, we have no results for this group.
I can invite you.
Maybe you should.
Okay, look, so if you're listening out there and you would like to get some of the great deals that Danielle's gotten from this group, send an email to schnozzcast@gmail.com and we will hook you up with an invite to the group.
Yeah, it looks like you have to probably be invited because I'm getting nothing.
I wasn't invited.
Spell Alyssa again.
ALYSSA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I had.
That's exactly.
All right, so if you're interested in that, please just let us know and we'll try to hook you up as best we can. And that is pick of the week for this week.
Yes.
And now that Joe's in the bathroom, I'm going to take this opportunity to say that's Schnozzcast for the
Sorry.
Yes. We are way.
I got a good one.
This
yeah,
might
248. This might. No, it's not the longest one.
Oh, dude.
No. I don't think so.
We'll
let's-
find
let's-
out. We'll
let's
find
not
out.
make it the longest one. Let's cut this
Right.
cut this thing off at the
Wait,
news right now.
what about my?
Yeah, here's your
it's
pick
too
of the
late
week.
for you.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah.
No, he's got
Dude,
his
I'll tell you what. I'll keep it short.
No,
Oh,
like you always do.
Joe's, please don't pick it.
No. My non-pick of the week. Any man-scented candle. No locker room, no fresh cut grass.
Locker room.
Really?
Where the hell are you
Who's
buying
that-
your candles at?
Who's ever going to a locker room and like?
Okay, man.
I'm gonna make a
Man-scented
candle
candle.
out of this.
You get what I mean?
No, don't.
Look up man-scented candles, and then we'll.
Like, do you
I-
mean like flannel?
I don't want to.
Yeah, like
pollute.
what
I
else
like that
flannel?
smell. I don't
wanna pollute my
What is-
chrome history in
It
that way.
doesn't smell like flannel though.
No, it's
Exactly.
not supposed to smell like burning fabric.
Yes, it is.
No,
if
it's
no.
no.
if it's like, hey, dirty feet, it's supposed to smell like dirty feet, not fucking.
No.
No, it's not. So what's the point on?
I don't need a
on-
candle for that.
What's the
No.
point on naming the scent if it doesn't smell like anything?
I don't know. I'm not a candle namer.
There you go. Exactly. Good
Not a
night,
candle
everybody.
expert. So
I'll come up with something better next time.
yeah, please do.
Oh, that was perfect.
All right. So
Good day.
calling this one quits.
Yes, we are. Episode 59. Thank you very much for listening. Gonna put a bow on it for the night.
I think it's about time.
Good night, everyone. Nick?
Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. And if you can make it out to Letterkenny and you know we're there, come say hello.
Our booth will be set up.
March
Oh,
10th.
we don't have
That'd
a
be
booth.
amazing.
You have
if
a
we had
booth?
Oh my
So
god.
probably a booth.
Corey?
Good night, everyone. See you on the next one.
Danielle?
Good night.
Joe?
We're monkeying Letterkenny
Okay,
merch.
Joe.
Just say goodbye, Joe.
Good night,
Bye, Joe.
everyone.
Goodbye, Joe.
It's half the price.